Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we are trying to discuss with the stack related example here. So observe here, using this particular method declarations as well as the particular constructor information. So we defined the one example and we implemented the particular dynamic stack and the fixed stack related example we identified. So today we are going to discuss one of the important concept here, polymorphism. Right. So to discuss this particular polymorphism, first we need to understand here. Basically, this is one of the important push principle in Java. Right. So how exactly this particular polymorphism is going to work here? Basically, so what exactly this polymorphism contains? Now, what we are going to do? And this polymorphism is going to allow the perform. So it's going to allow the perform so many things simultaneously. Right. Or we can call it as the single action. We are going to work with multiple ways here. So the particular single action, we are going to work with different ways here. So like what are the different ways we are going to work, we are going to identify. And this particular polymorphism, so having two types of polymorphism here. The first one we are going to call as a compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So whenever we are trying to work with this particular compile time polymorphism, we are going to call as a overloading concepts here. Getting the point. So this is very important section, the overloading concepts, how we are going to work. Getting the point. First, we need to understand how exactly this polymorphism is going to work. So I'm saying that the single action, we are going to do it in the different ways here. Right. So how we are going to work the particular single action, we are going to work in the multiple ways here. Right. Now, so first we need to understand this particular compile time polymorphism. So which is nothing but overloading concepts here. So the how this particular method overloading is going to work here. So method overloading is nothing but, so what we exactly we are going to do. So we are going to define one method in the different ways here. And it is possible to define in Java same method which is contained the different information here. Right. So how exactly we are going to define this particular method overloading here? To understand here, simply we need to define one method here and we need to provide the different parameters here. Basically, whenever we are trying to work with this particular overloading concepts here, so we are going to define the different parameter section here. And each parameter is going to take so type of parameter and order of parameters here. So what type of parameters we are going to take here and so what exactly the order of parameters we are going to have here. So this section we are going to understand here. So let's observe simple example here. So to understand this particular simple example here, what we are going to do. So we'll try to work with this particular so polymorphism concepts here. Now, so to understand this particular polymorphism, now what I am going to do, I am going to create one example here. So let me create a package first. So to create this particular package, what we need to do here? Here I am going to create one more package here, or we can create overload demo. Inside this particular core Java, I am going to add one more package here. So polymorphism here. Getting the point. So how exactly this particular polymorphism is going to work? Now, to understand this particular simple example here, what I am going to do, I will create a method here. So how I am going to create here? So observe public void test is a one method. So this particular test method is not taking anything here. So this particular test method is not taking anything. So simply we can add no parameters. So simply we can add no parameter. So later I'm going to add the same method. So observe carefully, I'm trying to work with the same method. So how we are explaining whether it is the same method or not. Now we can see the name of this particular method is a test, and same way I'm trying to define one more method called test here. Getting the point. So now here the difference here, this particular second method which is expecting one parameter here. so which is expecting this particular one parameter here. Now I'm going to print so this particular I value. This particular I value we are going to work here. Now so we identified one parameter here. Same way we are going to work with another parameter. So now observe here public void test into I comma into j. Now you can see, so this particular method is expecting two parameters. So this section is very important here. Int values here. Right now, so how I'm going to work with this particular int values here. So this section is going to give more information on this particular int here. So finally, I'm going to work with the same method, so which is expecting one more data type here. So initially, the three methods we identified here, the three methods are expecting into data type, and the fourth method, so which is expecting double data type here. Now you can understand here. So the purpose of this particular overload concept here, what we are doing here, the name of the method we are writing same, and type of the parameter we are having the different, and order of the parameters also we are having difference here. So now you can see, so this particular test method is not taking anything, right? This particular test method which is expecting one into data type here, one into data type. Same way we can check with this particular another parameter. So this particular test method which is expecting two parameters. The two parameters here into I comma and j. I comma and j here. So now, so I and j values we are printing. Another method we are defining here, so which is expecting double data type here. Now what we are going to do, so we'll try to print on the double data type value. Okay, double I value. Getting the point. Now you can understand here, so this particular method, so this particular method you can see, so which is expecting two parameters, but the two parameters we are having different. The two parameters are having different here. So carefully observe here, even though, so this particular test method is expecting as a two parameters, but the two parameters are having different here. Now you can see, so here also this method is expecting two parameters. The two parameters we are having same type data, and here we are having different type data. So one more int and double j values here. Here I want to print I comma j. So finally I want to write one more method. I want to write one more method, so which is going to take different parameter. Now you can see double comma into. So now you can expect here, so this time we are having different data here. So now you can see here we are having double I and integer, double I and integer. So now you can observe, so this time this parameter is expecting same data type, and this time, so this is a different parameter, the different data type which is expecting, even though if it is a single parameterized method. Now you can see we define the one more single parameter, but only the difference is this is parameter, this particular test method which is expecting into data type. So this particular data type which is expecting double data type here. So these are about the int and double data type. Now we can understand here, so this two the last two methods here. So we need to understand very carefully, because these two parameters methods are different here. The type of methods are having different, and order of the parameters also different here. So this particular order of the parameters also different here. So same way we can define as many methods we want here. So this particular concept we are going to call as a overloading the method. So overloading method we are going to call. Getting the point. So now if we want to call this particular overloading method, what we can do? Because we identified whenever we are trying to work with this particular method concept here, so we are going to create a object of this particular class, and later we are going to work with calling this particular method. Right. Now we can understand here how we are going to create this particular object here. So let me create a main method first. Inside this particular main method, what I am doing is I want to create a object here. So name, what is the name of the class we are having? Something called overload demo. So demo is equal to new overload demo. Now I created the object. Getting the point. So why we need to create a object? Because these are the instance methods. So this section is very careful. We need to understand here. Basically, in future we are going to discuss with the static behavior here. So whenever we are going to work with the static behavior, so we are not going to create an object here. We are not going to create a object here. So first we need to understand this particular section here. So how exactly the instance methods are working first. Later we'll move on to the another important section, something called static related section. Okay. Now understand what we are going to do here. Getting the point. So after creating this particular object here, we are going to call the method here. So now you can see how many methods we are having here. So how many methods we are having here. So this section is going to give very important information. So around we are having 6 methods, but the 6 methods having different parameters. The 6 methods are having different parameters. So now understand here. So we'll try to work with one by one here. So carefully we need to understand here. Basically, if you are not providing the proper data type value, so what happens internally? So if we are not providing the proper data type value, so what we are going to get here? Okay. Now we'll understand first here. The first method I'm calling, and second method I'm going to call, so which is taking double. So instead of double, if you're trying to provide the into data, what happens internally? So which is going to call the into type here. So to understand here, first we need to work with the proper data type values here. Right. Now later we'll check with so how it's going to change. Now this particular method will expecting the into data, and later one more test. So as of now, the 3 methods we completed. Now the 4th method, which is expecting double comma int. So same way we need to specify something, the double parameter I'm passing, and int parameter. And now we need to check here 5th method. The 5th method you can see first parameter which is expecting as a int, and the second parameter which is expecting as a double here. Now what I want to do, I want to give the int parameter, and the double parameter I want to give 10.0. So these all about the int and double. So later we need to check with the final method, something called int comma int. So which is going to expect, which is expecting here 2 parameters here, and now I want to check with 45 and something called 75. So careful we need to understand here. So the data types are very important here. Getting the point. So how we are going to change this particular data type values? Now you can see if I'm going to run the same example. So here we are getting the value. So first one we identify no parameters, and later so double parameter, something called the I value we are getting 123.0, and so this is the int parameter. Getting the point. So this is the int parameter we are getting, the value we passed as a 12, and later double data type I value and int data type j value we are getting. So because of these, so 456.01 as a double data type, and 458 is a int data type here. So this section we need to understand very carefully here, and the below two into comma double, and the final method we are having into both the parameters which is are expecting same type here. So these are about the simple example on the overloading concept here. These are about the overloading concept here. So now I want to change the values. So carefully observe here, if I'm going to change the values, so which method is going to execute here? Now understand here, for understanding here, if I'm going to change here 456 here, we're not going to get any errors because so these values are going to treat it as a into data type here. Getting the point? So now whenever I'm trying to call this particular the 456 comma 458 here, what happens internally? So what happens internally? So it's going to call the into data type related method. So now we can understand here. So these two are the same. These two are the same here. INJ values 45 and 75. Now you can see INJ values 456 and 458 here. Now what you are understanding here, if you are not providing the proper data type value, getting the point. So if you are not providing the proper data type value, what happens internally? So based on the parameters value, whatever we passed here, so which is going to check appropriated the type of this particular parameter method here. Getting the point. So appropriated, so what is the nearest method which is going to handle so this kind of parameters. So the compiler is going to check this kind of issues and compiler is going to call the appropriated method here. So in our the current example here, the compiler is going to treat as a this two parameter as a into data type here. So the compiler is going to treat as a into data type here. So we did not find the particular, sorry, we have a int method which is taking as a two parameters. So because of this, the compiler is going to call, so this method is here. The compiler is calling into I comma into j. Getting the point. So now observe, here I want to change the same method I'm trying to work here, something called, I'm providing the double data type. So here also I'm providing the double data type here. But now you can understand here. So what happening internally? So then you can see the particular method we are getting an error here. So why we are getting this particular method here? Getting the point. So you need to understand here, in our example, in the current example, we did not define the method which is going to take two parameters as a double data type here. Getting the point. So we did not define this particular two parameters which is going to take as a double data type here. Right. So because of this, we are getting an error here. Now you can understand here. So now you can see remove the match to set here. Basically it's giving an option to remove the two parameters to match the default method here, and otherwise change this particular method here into. So what is giving an option here? Double to double. Or so it's giving one more option, create a one more method. Create a one more method you can see. So with the two parameters called double and to double. So otherwise, so change the method. The default method, you can change this particular method to double and double. So these are the suggestions it's going to give. Right. Compiler cannot understanding it based on this particular parameter. So whatever the parameters we added here, the compiler not understanding here. So because of this, what happening internally? So it's going to give an error here. Okay. Now we need to understand very carefully here. So now we can see, so if I'm going to remove this particular information, what happening internally? What happening internally? We are getting an error here. So this method into to double is an ambiguity overload here. So we are getting an so ambiguity because we are having the two methods. So both are expecting as a int and int here. Int and int. So this we need to understand very carefully. So we'll have more understanding in our upcoming classes. So basically, we'll try to check with the whenever we are having the same data type or lower data type or upper data type here, what is going to happen internally. So we are going to secure. Getting the point. So now we need to understand this simple example here, how exactly the overloading method we can define and how we can work on this particular simple example. So any questions regarding this particular overloading concept here?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, you can. Just tell me.
Yes, sir. These all methods are in the same class, right? Means we have to consider, we have to tell all the methods in the same class.
Yes.
You cannot write these methods in the different class.
Yeah, you can write.
Then it will work.
Okay. Let me take the different class here. Something called. So what we defined here. Okay. Here I want to create. So I'm trying to work with so another method. Something called overload demo 2. Now I'm defining here. Okay. Now tell me. So what is your query? Because in the two classes we are having the same methods.
But we need to create the object of that class, right?
Okay. So which object I need to create here?
For class overload demo 2.
Okay. So okay, let me create one more class for the main method. Okay. So now easily we can access right all the test methods. Okay, what is your query right now?
I want to check it will work or not.
See, basically here whatever the classes we are creating, whatever the information we are going to add inside this particular class, so those is like those information is specific to the particular class here. But now you can understand here. So as I explained in the last class, with the reference of this particular object, we are going to call the appropriate methods here, right? The reference we are going to have unique here. Because of this particular unique, so whatever the information we are having inside this particular class, we can easily access here, right? So this same example we can discuss here whenever we are trying to work with any inheritance here. So you are going to have more understanding here how exactly it's going to work here. But simple understanding here, whatever the methods information we are going to write inside the class, those are the specific to the same class here. Okay. Now, so we'll have a one more information we are going to work here. So this particular test method, now I want to change it to the double here. Let me back to here inside this particular overload demo 2. I want to create one more method, so which is going to take as a double, and I want to comment this section. Here I want to call inside this particular double data type. Basically, this test method is expecting double parameters. Now I want to give integer value, so it's not going to accepting here. Why? Basically test into double is the ambiguity. Okay, let me change here. So we don't want to work on these two methods.
Depending upon what parameters we have to pass, then it will call the methods, right?
Yes, so that is I want to explain here. Now we can observe how many methods we are having. First we are having the default method. So another one which is expecting into parameter, and another one which is expecting double, and we are having only one parameter, sorry, two parameterized method we define as a double here. So if I am going to give other than this particular double, So what will happen internally? We want to get a compilation error because we are trying to pass with different data here. Getting the point. So now we can see the same method. If I'm trying to call here with the two parameters here, I'm not getting any error here. I'm not getting any error here. Why I'm not getting any error here? Because if you observe the 12 and 45, so those two methods, the two variables are going to treat it as a into data type here. So to work with the double data type, we need to specify the decimal values here. Dot 0, dot 1, some values we need to specify here. Getting the point. But now
Yes.
I'm not getting any error here. So why I'm not getting any error here? So this section is very important here. Basically, from bigger value to small value, so implicitly typecasting is going to perform. Implicitly typecasting is going to perform is nothing but where even though this particular test method which is expecting double data type here, but we are passing the into data type values, what happened here? Comparing to into data type to double data type here. So which is the bigger data type here? So double is a bigger data type here. Compared to int, double is going to take more space here. Getting the point. So now what we are doing here, even though we specify the like bigger data type here, but we are passing the like small data type values here. So what happens internally, this implicitly typecasting is going to perform, right? Even though if I'm going to run this particular simple example, we are going to get an output here. But now you can understand here, so the values are changed into the double data type here. Why it is converted here? Why it is converted double data type? Because the parameter we made as a double data type, and so we are going to have the more space compared to the this particular less data type here. So easily it can convert here. Easily it can convert. One more example I want to write. Right. So now you can see the simple example I want to make comment. I want to enable this particular section. So I want to enable this particular section. Now you can understand here. So this particular test method is expecting two parameters, and both the parameters expecting as a int data type. And I'm trying to run the same example. So basically, so we identify these two parameters we pass as a int value. So we are getting the same expected output, right? But now you need to think here. So dot 1 to something called dot 65. So why it is not converting here? Getting the point. The reverse order is not working. Basically, the previous example, we're having the method which is expecting double data type, but we pass the into data type value. So without getting any error, successfully the particular method is called, and we got the expected output here. But now I changed the particular method. We're trying to pass the integer parameter. So instead of passing this particular integer parameter, now what we are passing a double parameters here. So at this time we are getting an error here. So now you can see what is error is indicating here. Now you need to read this particular above line first. The method test double in the type overload is not applicable, double comma double here. Getting the point. So double comma double is not accepting here, because we don't have the particular method with a double parameterized method here. Why it is not converting here? So previously it was converted into the particular double and the values are printed. But now if I'm trying to provide this particular double value, why it is not converting into data type here? Getting the point. So previously the example is converted. Yeah. Tell me.
Double is having large space, no? That's why.
Okay. If the double data type is having the large space, so what we need to do? If I want to like handle this particular error here, so what I need to do?
I think we declare the method like double.
Okay, I don't want to declare the particular method. Any alternative way we can work? So I want to work the same method to perform this particular operation.
Overload. The suggestion, in that suggestion, it's there.
So we don't have
Create
the
a
particular.
method.
So that is I'm explaining. I don't want to create any method. So using the same method, I want to perform this particular operation here. So anyway we can do it or not. With the same method I want to do it. Is it possible to do?
Don't know, sir.
Okay. So now we can observe. So if we want to convert into this particular value into data type, what we can do? We need to make so simple one into type.
Type first.
Getting the point. So using this particular type conversion, we can perform. So that is I'm explaining here. Previous example, implicit typecasting. Casting and conversion both are same here. Getting the point. So whenever we are having.
I don't understand what is the implicit and explicit. Can you?
So explicit is nothing but manually we are performing here. So implicit is nothing but automatically is going to perform.
Okay.
Getting the point. So like basically the small to bigger value, what we need to do here, that implicitly the casting is going to perform. But here, whenever we are trying to convert bigger data type into a small data type, so we need to cast like this here. So this is we are going to call as a explicitly typecasting here. Now, if I'm going to call same example, you can see, so we are going to get. But here, so we need to understand here, so what exactly the method is going to take parameter. This particular method is taking as a into data type here. So this particular method is expecting into data type here. Now, what we need to do, basically, the into data type is, it will not return the zero after zero values. Right, after whatever the values we are having, so those zero values we are not going to get. Because of this, we are getting 12 and 45. But what we are passing here, after dot we are passing 12 comma 65. So these two information we are not going to get whenever the values are converting into from one data type into another data type here. So the conversion is going to perform based on the data types here. If you are trying to convert into the same data type, so we can get the same values. But here, these are the values we are having double data type, but we are trying to convert into this particular into data type here. So this section is not going to perform. Cutting the point. So this particular section is not going to return the, so that double data type after dot, whatever the values we are having, so those will not print here. So this we need to understand very carefully here. So one more example I want to show you. So another example here, we are having the test method and another one which is expecting two parameters. So let me change here. I think we are having the same here. So, okay. I think we are having the same. So I want to write one more way here. So observe here, int I is equals to 88. And I want to call demo.test. I'm calling the default method and I'm calling so one other method which is going to take as a integer value 10 comma 45 and so I want to call one more method. Here you can observe, so this particular test method, here I want to pass I. Here I'm trying to pass I. So basically I think we are having, okay. Now, so this particular example I'm going to get an error here. Which object we are creating? Now we are into the same. So, okay. now you can see, so just carefully observe here, we are having, how many methods we are having? So 3 here. We are having 3. First one is the default one. So second one, which is expecting 2 parameters as a same type called int, and third method which is expecting double here. But now you can see, so this particular I value, so what is the I value contains, which data type this particular I value contains?
Integer.
So but the particular test method, we don't have a particular test method which is expecting int parameter.
Yes.
So but here we are not getting any error. But why we are not getting any error? Even though we don't have the particular method here. So this is a simple example for implicit typecasting here. Getting this time. Even though we don't have any the particular method which is expecting int type, but we are having the bigger data type. So what is the method we are having there, which is going to take bigger data type? So that is called double.
Double.
Right. So compared to this particular double data type, integer which is going to take less amount of space.
Yes.
Right. So because of this, we don't want to write explicitly like so double. So we don't want to write explicit typecasting here. Getting the point. So internally, the same method is going to execute. To understand here, so we'll try to run the same example. So now, so these kind of examples are very important here. We need to understand here how these values are going to convert in here. Now you can see the I value we pass as a line number 688, but here now you can see double I value, but we specified as a int I value. But how we are getting the double I value? Internally, it's converted into the different data type. Getting the point. So this we need to understand here whenever we are trying to work with this particular overloading method here. Right. Any questions?
No, sir. Getting.
So now carefully observe here. I'm trying to write one more method, the same test method, which is expecting byte here. So which is expecting this particular byte data type here. Byte A value. Now I don't want to use this particular double. So if I'm going to comment this particular method, we are getting an error here. We are getting an error here. So to resolve this particular error, what we need to do? So now we can see we are getting an error here. The last line number 11, we are getting an error here. So first, can you please explain me why we are getting this error?
There we declared I as double, and here we have given I as integer.
So in the double we don't have. So that I am explaining here. The double I am commenting here. So what we are having here, double is not available, byte is there.
Byte is available there, so it is misunderstanding byte and integer in there.
Okay, so now I want to resolve this error. What I need to do? Okay, observe carefully. First, what we need to do. Basically, you can see if I'm going to enable this particular double data type, this particular method, we are not getting any error here because so even though if you're not specifying the particular data type value, So which is converting into the particular data type and the values is printing. Right. But same parameter I'm passing here. This particular test method also, which is expecting one parameter, and previously also we specified only one parameter. But only the difference is data type difference here. And now we can observe this byte also comes under the integer category. Right. So if it is coming inside this particular integer category, still it is giving an error here. So just to, can you please explain me here? So which is the highest value? Integer is the highest value or byte is a highest value?
Byte.
Like highest value is nothing but, so which data type value is going to take more space, either byte or integer?
Byte, sir.
So if the byte is going to take, so we don't want to get any error regarding this particular line number 11. So why, basically the previous example compared to int, the double is taking most space of this particular memory, right? Now because of this is happily converted into implicitly, and successfully the previous example is executed. Getting the point? So compared to int, the double is taking more. Same way, compared to int, if a byte is going to take more space, why we are getting an error here?
So the parameter is A and here you are passing I.
We should give test of A instead of test of I.
Yeah.
So of A.
Yes.
So A is the name of the variable name. We need to specify the value here. We did not define anywhere A here.
We need type conversion, I think, sir.
So why we need to type conversion here? So basically byte is going to take so less memory compared to this particular int.
Yes.
So that's because of this we need a type conversion. Now you can see, so int to int, basically which is expecting the different parameter here. Now it is not applicable to int here. So it's giving a hint. We are having so another method which is taking int comma int, but here you are passing int only. Getting the point? Only one parameter you are passing. So one parameter related method we don't have. Getting the point? So now you can see, so to convert here, so any error we are getting here?
No.
So we are not going to getting an error. So this we need to think very carefully here. So because first we need to know the range of the each data type here. So whenever we are trying to work with these kind of logical questions, we need to understand the range of this particular each data type here. So then we can easily understand here how this particular values are going to store or not. If it is not storing here, what we can do. Getting the point? So this section is going to give more information. Any questions regarding this particular overloading concept here?
Not related to overloading, sir, but can you just tell me what data type having the less memory, or what can you just tell the sequence
So
of
the sequence here we need to understand. Byte short, into long, double. So this is the range. So byte is having less memory and double is having more memory. So this is the sequence we need to understand whenever we are trying to work with the number related data. And so in this case, so character is also is going to include. Why the character is going to include here? So here we can add char also. Basically internally the char is going to work a Unicode system here. Right. So how it is going to convert here? The simple here, if I'm going to specify this particular capital A, internally we are going to get as a integer value. Whatever the Unicode value which resides inside this particular A, the value we are going to get. But the value we are going to get as a int data type, not as a char. Getting the point? Sometimes, so this is also important here. Right. Now, so this is the range. Int and char. So we are going to have equality because the values, whatever the value is provided in the char data type, those are converted into the int data type. Right. For simple example here, now I want to add. So let me check the simple example. So here, let me enable. I want to enable this particular int data type here, and go back to here. So instead of this particular 88, I want to define char ch is equals to a. Char ch is equals to a, and here I want to pass the particular I here. I want to pass ch. So now you can see any error we are getting here. We're not going to get any error. So now you can see if I'm going to run the same example. So we are getting 65. So how we are getting this particular 65? Because of this particular, yes, 65 we are going to get. Getting the point. But now,
Yes.
here we are passing this character related information. But this particular test is expecting int data type here. So now you can see in the overload demo 2, we don't have any method. The particular method is going to take as the character related method information here. Getting the point. So but how it is converted? Right. So this is important here. The compiler is going to take care of conversion of this particular int to char to int. Getting the point. Now, so this we need to understand here. Okay. And remaining we are having. So what are the remaining we are having? The boolean. So boolean. So it is totally different here, which is going to take true or false. Getting the point. So these we need to very carefully understand here. Explicit typecasting, implicit typecasting. Okay, so we'll try to check with the constructor overloading. We identify the overloading of this particular method. Same way, we need to work on the constructor overloading here. So how exactly we can work on this particular constructor overloading? So we identify the default constructor here. What happened the particular default constructors internally? So while creating the object of this particular any class, so the constructors are going to execute it. Same way, how we can work on the different constructors. So constructor overloading. So basically, we're having the constructors which is going to have name of the particular class name. Now we can observe how I'm trying to create. So this is the default constructor. So this is the default constructor. Let me add a message. Default constructor. And later we need to work on the another constructor. Int a. So this is the parameters constructor. And so we can define how many parameters we want to define here. So as many parameters we are interested, we can go for it, right? So same way we can work with the particular methods related. So now you can see, so this particular method is expecting, sorry, this particular constructor is expecting, so default constructor, so which is expecting one parameter and which is expecting two parameters, and this one is expecting three parameters. Same way I'm going to add, so int comma double t, right? And now you can understand here, so instead of integer I want to check with the char, and here I can work with double. So carefully observe here how many constructor I'm trying to create here. So here we can work with one more data type here, something called char comma into bit. So these many overload method we can write. So if we want to write, we can define more and more here. But here, so just to carefully observe how these particular methods are calling here, how this particular constructors are going to call. So to understand here, main method I want to create. Let me copy this particular class name to create this particular object here. Now you can see how many constructors we are having. So these many constructors we are having here, right? So based on our requirement, we can go for the particular constructor and we can specify the particular values here. We can specify these many constructor and but we cannot call at a time more than one constructor as of now, right? So whenever we are trying to call one constructor, how we can call another constructor internally. Basically, if I'm going to call this particular constructor called the default constructor, so how can I call this particular remaining constructors? Getting the point? How can I call the remaining constructors here? So this section we can see in our upcoming classes here, but make sure while creating this particular object here, how many constructors we can call? Only one constructor here. So you can specify, so randomly I'm trying to selecting the constructor here and something called, what happened? Okay. So this is the way we can call the constructor. If I'm going to say, if I'm executing, like if I'm trying to call this particular object creation, so we are going to have something, one parameterized constructor we are calling it. So the message we provided as if same for all the constructors here. So I did not change the method here, but make sure. So we identified here the calling the constructor, right? So we want to discuss more about this particular constructor overloading here. Now simple understanding we identified, but here we can check the parameters. So again, whenever you are not providing the particular appropriate data type value, we need to discuss the typecasting information. So whatever the value we are providing, so which is a less than to the given parameter or not, given the data type or not, we need to check. So if it is a less than, so implicitly it's going to perform. So if it is a greater than, so we need to typecast it explicitly. So these things we need to understand. And in our Monday class, we are going to discuss here how we can call internally this particular constructor here. So if I'm going to call one constructor, I want to execute all the constructors. I want to execute all the constructors with some values here, how we can call. Getting the point? So this section we can see in our Monday class here. So these are the very important discussions we are going to discuss here. And once this particular polymorphism we are going to complete, so we are going to discuss the inheritance here. After discussing this particular polymorphism and inheritance here, we are going to have more and more logical questions here. So you need to understand how exactly each example is going to work, so that we are going to have more knowledge on the flow of execution. Getting the point? So these things we are going to discuss in our upcoming classes here. So any questions regarding this particular constructors here, constructor overloading?
There is constructor overloading is same as like method overloading.
Yes. So basically in the method overloading, we are going to have a specific implementation, but the constructor, what we are doing is, so we are trying to initializing the instance variable values. So these two important things we need to understand here. We can define the overloading constructor. The purpose of this particular constructor is it is used to initializing the values of the particular class. But what about this particular method? Using this particular method, we can implement a specific logic here. So the logic, so this is depends on or calling the method. So we are going to define to work on this particular order related information, we can define the method, or any database related information, we can define the method, and we can define any loading purpose, we can define any method, we can insert purpose, we can define any method. Getting the point. So method having some more specific here. We can define any purpose, we can define the method. But constructor will not do all the behavior of the method what is doing here. Right. So that's the reason we need to focus on the more and more the method related only. The real-time application, we are going to define the same name with the number of parameters here, because the same method we are going to call from the multiple locations here. So only we are going to define the one method in the service class we are going to define, and after defining this particular method, so we are going to have the calling is very important here. The calling section we are going to call from the different locations here. Whenever we are trying to call from the different location, we are going to specify the different parameters here. So this is we are going to see after completion of this particular OOPS concepts here. Okay, anything you want to discuss? Okay, so if we don't have anything, yeah, we can conclude the today class. We'll continue on Monday.